Soggy Cereal and DogPack404 are beefing over Mr. Beast. Who can glaze Mr. Beast or anti-glaze Mr. Beast harder? Aiden Ross is giving out money to people that are in the hurricane, but not for the reason you think. Bryce Hall and Dean Withers had a little bit of an update, and I think it really recontextualizes Dean Withers' argument here.
And I'm in the thick of it. Everybody knows.
For real, KSI's song hits top 100 and is also apparently trash, according to a lot of people. We also have the Kai Cenat and SpongeBob meal. And let's dive right into the bikini bottom and talk about the SpongeBob meal. Is it a bad meal? Is it a good meal? I would argue it's kind of overpriced. I think that $12 for a meal feels really ridiculous.
It's actually $10.69.
Well,
after tax, yeah.
Tax, yeah.
And that's in Missouri.
That's what I was like, kind of like rounding.
That's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, I went with me and Kayla, got the SpongeBob meal. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad stuff. It's Wendy's, bro. You can't mess up with some Wendy's. My specific experience though was so garbage, and that's probably because of the freaking Wendy's I went to.
Guys, this Wendy's is so bad.
It's so bad, dude. I waited like 20 minutes in line.
They
forever. Had me pull forward. What are we at, McDonald's? They had me pull forward. They had me sit there for 20 minutes, serve the two people behind me before getting me out my burger and fries, bro. I will say the Frosty is actually fire.
I liked the Frosty.
The pineapple Frosty is
pineapple under the
fire.
sea.
I did like it. It wasn't super pineapple-y, which I expected it to be like overwhelmingly pineapple.
Cause you know what they told me? It's vanilla Frosty, but it's like a pineapple puree they mix in.
That's exactly what I told Kayla. I said this is just it tastes like vanilla with a hint of pineapple.
Mm-hmm. And it's like a real
really
fruit puree, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it wasn't bad. It definitely wasn't bad. You definitely have to mix it well too.
I agree.
I feel like it sinks.
I liked it. I don't like Wendy's, and I liked this meal quite a bit. I don't like their burgers. I should say that. I'm not a fan of Wendy's burgers, but the Krabby Patty burger, fast food, like in terms of fast food burger, I would give it like an A tier. The first time I had it, they did it really well.
A tier Wendy's?
Mm-hmm. But I had it again today. I actually had it before I got here.
We should do a like IRL stream where we just go around to fast food places and rate their burgers.
Dude, that would be so fire. I would love that.
Yeah, that'd be fun. We'll set that up sometime.
Dude, that'd be sick. Jersey spawned in. Did you try the Krabby Patty burger?
No, this
Never
guy
mind.
lives on Wingstop, bro.
Really?
I've not had it for like 2 weeks.
The Wingstop by Dutch?
No.
Yeah.
Jersey loves
They're
Wingstop,
so bad,
though.
bro.
Jersey
They're
does
bad,
love
but
Wingstop.
we trade with them and they're good.
No, Jersey.
I don't like
Wingstop Glazers
Dude.
will not be allowed around here.
Yeah, you know why I'm also beefing with them? They called me, dude, guys. This Wingstop called me 4 times
His
and
personal
left
line.
me, my personal phone number, and left me like 4 voicemails. Actually, I'm gonna play the voicemail.
I gave them his number.
Jersey, you gotta
No,
talk
this was
to
a different time.
Mike.
Here, I'm gonna put this into the mic. This is what the voicemail Wingstop left me.
Jersey, we're
We
podcasting.
are actually so desperate for Dutch Bros. Please answer us back. We want to trade so bad. Please, we're desperate. We love you guys. Please.
They wanted that Dutch, bro.
They left me 2 more.
They wanted that Dutch Ussy, bro.
We are so desperate. Please, please, please. This is Wingstop. Call back.
How long ago was this?
Yeah, that's
This was
wild,
Tuesday.
bro. Calling on the company line
Wait,
for
so
that.
not the day that I gave it to you.
No, this was.
Bro, get your hand off the
Guys-
back of my chair. You keep
Guys,
grinding.
before that, Wingstop hit up Jersey and said, "Hey, do you guys want to trade?" Jersey gave them my number. They called me. I couldn't answer because we were busy. They left me a voicemail. They're like, "Hey, we want to trade. This is Wingstop. Call us back." I call them back. They pick up after 3 minutes of being on hold, and they're like, I was like, "Hey, you guys want to trade still? Like we were told you going to trade." They're like, "Oh yeah, let me get you online to my manager." So they put me on hold for 10 minutes, and then the same girl picks up, and I didn't even realize it was the same girl. So I was like, "Hey, like, we heard you guys wanted to trade," and then she goes, "Oh yeah, let me get you online to my manager," and then I sit
She
there for another
forgot?
10 minutes, 23 minutes on hold altogether, and then they just hang up on me.
Messed up.
And after that, that's when they leave me those voicemails. I'm not giving you nothing after that treatment. After wasting my time for 23 minutes.
Yeah,
Like,
for
poor
real,
coworkers
you could have ordered other food.
working by themselves while I'm sitting there on my phone, trying to get us
Messed
Wingstop,
up.
trying to provide for the family.
Messed up. Did you scroll through TikTok while you were on?
No, I actually just started like filling up stuff, like doing some GST.
Yeah,
but
for sure. No, but that's so cringe, bro. That's so cringe.
Yeah, and it's like,
Yeah.
dude, that's the thing. Like, we should just talk about like fast food for a second. Is that
Fast
cool?
food in general is just kind of
It's it's gone
garbage
so downhill.
service now. Yeah.
It's the service is almost always trash.
Well,
The food quality has gone downhill. The prices have gone up, and it's usually for convenience sake. But in my opinion, a lot of the fast food places are a lot slower than they used to be. And,
They
you know,
are.
all sorts of stuff.
they literally are. They're trying to like. Okay, so here's the thing. The one place I will go, and this is a Kansas City exclusive, when I really want some fast food. It's not cheap, but Hawaiian Bros.
Is it exclusive to Kansas City, or
It
is
is
it in some other
exclusive to
places?
Kansas
Isn't
City.
it?
It's only in Kansas City. They have
Really?
like 4 shops in Kansas City. It's so good.
Or in the
I've
area,
had
at least.
one bad Hawaiian Bros in
That's
like
fair.
the freaking 100 times I've gone there.
Hawaiian
and I
Bros is
actually
good.
made a video about it one time.
You know what? But
'Cause
like
there was like a feather in my food. I don't know how there was a feather in my food, but I was like
the
so,
chicken, bro.
Yeah.
That's how you know that it's fresh, bro.
Yeah, that's how you know it's locally sourced, I guess. I don't
So,
know. And it's
what'd
not
you-
even their fault, bro. It's not their fault that they had a chicken. Like, there was a feather
Feather.
baked into their chicken.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. It's whatever their distributor's fault,
You-
and it's
I-
never happened again. But
I'll-
it did turn me off to Hawaiian Bros for a bit.
That's fair. I would say like local chains are usually the way to go. I mean,
They are.
even.
Okay. I might get some hate from this,
Mhm.
and I know how you feel about the Cheez-It stuff, but Taco Bell is S tier fast food.
Yeah, it was.
Cheap food. It's cheap.
Yeah, not anymore,
The dollar menu is so cheap, bro.
dude. The dollar
Get a
menu is like
spicy potato
non-existent.
Get a spicy potato
That's
soft taco.
that's our only option. That's your
Get a
only
cheesy
option.
bean and rice burrito.
All
Get
right,
a
those
cheesy
two.
roll up.
Those cheesy roll-ups a waste of money.
You think?
I think so. It's just nacho cheese, which isn't good for you.
Yeah,
a tortilla.
it's not great, but it's better than like going to McDonald's and spending $10 for a freaking.
That's
Big
fair.
Mac.
That's fair. I will say those two, the cheesy bean and rice burrito, and the
Soft
soft
taco.
potato.
That's
the
all I
cheesy bean
order.
and rice burrito has gone up in price, by the way. Though it's like $160 now or something like that.
Yeah, but that's all
It's
I
like-
order anyways.
Well, that's fair. I miss the days. There used to be $1 beef burrito,
Mm-hmm.
600 calories, $1. You could get 4 of those, bro, and get 2,000 plus calories in. I mean,
I miss those days too.
I
but
used to fuck
unfortunate-
with Taco Bell.
They are actually like statistically the lowest priced fast food as well.
Of
Per
all of them,
calorie.
no,
Per
no,
calorie,
I
they're
disagree.
the lowest priced.
I bet
It's
you
not a-
In and
no,
Out.
it's a
I know In and
statistic,
Out's.
bro.
I know In and Out's not
swear.
over here, but I bet you In and Out's higher.
You think it's like less? Like
Higher
less
calorie
less
per dollar.
cost for higher calorie?
I mean, if we're including quality too, like I mean, because
Well, I'm just saying straight up calorie for money, bro. Taco Bell is the highest. I know because I watch Food Theory.
okay, oh no, that's fair, that's fair then.
Yeah, it was
but
a
that's
Food
is that an
Theory
old video
episode.
though?
It
'Cause
was
it's
like
going up
within the
cool.
last year.
Are we sure?
It was about the consistent quality. It was a Matt Pat video, so I know that it was older than
Mhm.
new.
Because I
But-
remember watching a video similar to that. It might have been that same video, but even in the last year, Taco Bell has changed significantly.
It was this one.
Burger King's the worst burger in America.
Yeah, it was this one 11 months ago, so it was within the last year. I narrowly got that correct.
barely.
Got that correct. So food has gone up. Obviously, it's a year's difference. Well, also, why the hell is food going up every single year?
Yeah,
That's messed up, bro.
that's
That's
insane.
messed up.
Yearly occurrence is pretty crazy.
Yearly
Dude,
food going up.
That's
is
the
weird.
thing, bro. Is like I remember when I was a kid, and we're getting sidetracked, but who cares, bro? This is our podcast.
Dude,
We can do whatever we want.
$5 foot long was $5 for like until I
$5
was like
foot long is
13,
crazy.
14.
Yeah, and I remember like when I was a kid, candy bars. You could go to the store and get a candy bar for like $1, literally $1. Like they were all $1
Yeah, just straight
And-
up. Now
and,
it's
like,
like it's $2.50 or something
at
like that.
least, bro. Or it was like $1 for regular, like $1.50 or $2 for a king size.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're like $3. Like if I go to Quick Trip, $3,
Yeah,
and that's
dude,
the
I'll
gas
pass
station,
on
local
that.
gas station for us. But like, it's just crazy. Quick Trip's another W, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Quick Trip is
It's
nice,
expensive.
man. You get okay. So here's the thing about Quick Trip. If you guys want to get put on that Midwestern Riz, bro, Quick Trip, order the cheapest thing on the menu through mobile order. You get a free drink with it.
Really?
You straight up get a free drink. Yeah. Oh, also,
yeah, McDonald's is
Quick
extremely
Trip Pay,
expensive.
dude. Quick Trip Pay is slept on too. If
What's
you
Quick Trip
sign
Pay?
up for Quick Trip Pay, you get 5% off all purchases in store, and on top of that, you get 25 cents off per gallon.
That's insane.
I know it's
and
an
what is Quick
insane
Trip? Is that
deal.
like a bit like a
It's just
card?
like it's like a super big promotional thing that's running right now. 25 or it's somewhere between 15 and 25. I can't remember.
But what is it? Is it like you just like pre-charge on your Quick Trip app, or what is
you
it?
you basically it's kind of like you are banking with Quick Trip, but it's set up to your debit card.
Bro, that's pretty sick. Did you
worth
did you
it.
do it?
I did it once. Yeah, I did it once. I use Upside too, though, is the thing. So, Upside is is this app where you can basically you just get money off. You just get money off straight up. So you get money off per gallon. It's awesome. It's a win, and it just advertises local gas stations in your area.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's really cool. But if you do want to do it, I'll put my referral code in the description.
Bro.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'll put my referral
No, but
code
actually,
in
though,
the sellout. Brody's
Referral
selling
codes
out.
on Upside actually make you a lot of they actually save you a lot of stuff.
Yo, guys, the other thing that Brody just found was a new crypto.
From
He
KSI.
only happens to have $10,000 in it, but
Oh,
he's gonna
yeah.
post it and like, guys,
the
it's
moon.
going up to the moon.
Dude, we sound like KSI
Where should I do this?
out there, just not in here. Yeah. That's. I mean, there's not gonna be a good space right now. Can I help you?
She's hoarding, and I need those items.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
We'll be right back. Here on 2WD.
We're not. No cuts.
No cuts.
We're uncut on this block.
No cuts. I'm uncut. You know what, bro? Me and Brody had a conversation about this yesterday. Or not yesterday, but last week. Is there any benefit to being cut? Oh, Goofy Goober's uncut.
Is Goofy Goober uncut?
How do I feel about Elon Musk?
Interesting.
I'm pretty indifferent. I think he's done a lot of good and a lot of bad things. I think like, you know, they talk a lot about him like child labor making him rich, which is like kind of true.
Yeah, but he's moved
but
away
there's-
from that in his later years.
Which is like, you know, it's hard because I think there's a lot of good things he does and a lot of bad things he does
Well, like all of his Tesla factories now are like here.
in the U.S.
Yeah, they're in the U.S.
That's pretty good.
They're either in the U.S. or wherever they're distributing. Like, cause like I think they have also a factory in like Europe somewhere.
Oh yeah,
But
that
like
makes
it's
sense.
not like child labor like
right,
a lot
right.
of the.
But it
places
was.
now. Yeah.
But it was. Having kids mine lithium batteries in Africa. But classic Musk.
Dude, I love when I'm mining and I'm like shoveling up my backyard and then I just find a lithium battery.
lithium battery.
It's so funny when that happens. Breaking news: Elon Musk found alive in his home in Texas. Dude, you really don't like Elon Musk that much? That's insane. He's done so. Here's the thing.
Actually, I wanted to talk about this too, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
Sorry,
sure.
I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt
like,
you.
go for it.
Dude, the thing like about Elon Musk is that like, literally 2-3 years ago, everybody loved Elon Musk. Not loved, but like no one hated Elon Musk
Yeah.
the way they do now. So I don't know what changed. It's like flipped a switch. The
One
same
of it
thing
is that he started supporting Donald Trump, which alienates half of his audience. immediately.
which is, but like I don't feel like, I mean, like even if you disagree with that, like
X is
disagree with
also
Trump-
a lot of it too. Him buying
Yeah.
X.
but like who cares?
It was before that he started.
But yeah, people started hating him before that. I mean, okay, that was messed up. We talked about that too.
Oh yeah, that was
yeah,
interesting.
that was really weird. I didn't like that comment. But that's what I'm saying though, is that even before that, like literally a couple years back, like everyone loved, and then it was just like a switch got flipped even before the Trump stuff. And I think it was because he became the richest man in the world. Everyone just immediately piled on hating him. I think
Yeah,
that's around when it started happening.
that's part of it.
But there is a
for
lot
sure.
of really good things he has done.
I mean,
I don't think he's like a great person. Like I don't think that at all. And I think most people who are that rich are not good people.
one
I mean,
big
you
thing
have to be-
about him.
Someone once told me is that, sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No, you're fine.
Someone once told me is that you can be an ethical millionaire, but you cannot be an ethical billionaire, which is low key kind of hard. And it's true. It's true
At
because,
least we haven't seen it.
well, I mean, maybe in the
If it's
future.
if it's possible, then we haven't seen it.
But
you know?
with all things that have that we know, it's not possible. So
So far,
um,
based off of history.
yeah,
for sure.
based off of history.
Yeah,
right?
based
I mean,
off of
you know,
history.
if you think that you have it in you, go get it. But like,
For real.
if don't let the money control you. Don't start cutting corners because that's how you'll fall into that, and that's what usually they end up doing.
Well, that's normally what you have to do to get to that point. is cut
Exactly, that's why it's
corners and
unethical.
be unethical, yeah. It's almost impossible, I'd say. I think you'd have to do so much good for the world. Well, ultimately, when you get money, a lot of times it is because you're giving value to the world. I think once you get to the very top, though, it is hard to continue giving value. Like, how much value do you really have to give? Are you worth $1 billion?
Right.
I would argue 99.99999% of the population is not worth $1 billion. You know?
Yeah, he definitely did many great things to achieve that status, right?
Yeah, but like at a certain point, how is he worth $1 billion? How is his life worth $1 billion?
I mean,
Like,
from
I'm
a
not
moral
saying,
standpoint,
like morally, obviously everybody's worth
Right,
an
right.
infinite amount of money, but I'm saying the value he's providing to everyone, is it worth $1 billion? And it's hard to say yes. I don't know how to quantify that even.
that's fair.
$1 billion
I mean,
is
yeah,
a ridiculous amount of money.
It is a ridiculous amount of money, and the thing is like, you know, people are mad. People get mad because like, I mean, the thing is like he did work for that money. Like I don't think he did absolutely nothing for that money. He had to put in some work. I think he had many things that helped him out.
No, I agree.
I think he had many things that helped him out, and then I think once he got a lot of money, he did a lot of unethical things to get a lot more money, and now, I mean, now his money makes it for him. He doesn't really
This
have
is
to
all-
do anything.
Let's just remind her, this was all based off of the SpongeBob meal. Oh my gosh, we just talked
This
about
whole
some
conversation.
crazy things based off the SpongeBob meal.
But-
Let's just say that Elon Musk is in the thick of it, and everybody
And
knows.
everybody knows.
KSI's new song. So he's got this one specific lyric that goes like this: "From the screen to the ring to the pen to the king.
Was my
crown, that's my bling, always Ramo when I ring. See, I believe that if I see it in my heart, smash through the ceiling, cause I'm reaching for the stars." That's the whole thing.
Whoa!
We ate that up. We ate that up. I actually don't hate the song.
This
I
is
really-
how the story goes.
You're
That's
gonna
what
get
it
us
sounds like.
copyrighted. How good you just sounded.
Shit.
But
Thank you, Brody. It would
But
sound good if it
basically,
wasn't
I don't
his
think it's
song.
that bad,
I think
bro.
it sucks.
you think it sucks?
Dude, it's not. It sounds like a Disney song.
Well, it's not good, but it's also like not. He's a YouTuber. He's a YouTuber.
But he prides himself on his music. Like he's been trying to become like a real musician
yeah,
for a long time.
Well, it's
There's-
not great, and Trippy Red being on it.
Dude,
is
that's what I was
super
gonna talk. I
random.
wanted to talk about two big points about this song too that don't even relate to KSI, but I think we should get the KSI stuff out of the way first. Is that what were your expectations for this song? Did you expect it to be good? I mean, I know no one knew it was coming, unless you're super tapped in.
I knew that he was gonna.
The next
release
bitch
a
lasagna.
song when the Lunchly stuff happened, but like, I don't know. I didn't hate it. I don't love it. I probably wouldn't listen to it regularly, but also I just don't feel like I'm in a place to really
I think
ridicule.
the way he defends it is so funny. I think that's also marketing. Like I think he knows that he plays into how bad it is. He'll get a lot more streams, which is exactly what he did because now he's in the Billboard Top 100
Oh yeah, for sure.
He
People listen
definitely-
to him more because of that.
because of the
They say that
the
he
marketing.
made $1 more billion from this.
a more $1 billion.
Yeah, he's making a ridiculous amount of money even from it being memed, which is
And
the thing.
It's kind of crazy. But the thing, Trippy Red. The thing about Trippy Red that I've noticed is that when I don't know if he's on file for saying this, but he will literally collab with anybody for money. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so funny. He'll just do whatever with anybody to get the bag. And I think that's so funny. It's kind of respectable, but at the same time, it's like, that's how you get like trash KSI song with a Trippy Red verse.
Literally.
And I mean, like Trippy Red's like, let's be honest, I love Trippy Red, old music, but he's fallen off, and I think everyone kind of knows that.
Now, yeah.
But like, for the
I
most
miss
part,
the Rage
every once
was,
in a while,
was the last thing I've heard that haven't
Really
wanted to
liked.
not want like put in the trash can.
that's fair. I've like listened to like whole new like the newer albums of his, and usually there's like one song where I'm like, oh yeah, this is pretty good. I throw it in the playlist, and the rest of them, it's like,
Why are you saying Squidward fenticles
That's
in the
pretty funny.
chat? This is why we don't do the pod on live anymore, bro. You're the reason, Cookie.
Squidward Finnacles. I think they kind of they brought up the whole Elon Musk conversation.
Fair.
And
fair.
what I wanted to say though is that what's another good point to bring from this KSI song is comparing him to. Do you remember Quadeca?
I think so. Yeah, kind of.
So Quadeca used to be a YouTuber who beefed with KSI.
Yeah. Okay, I do know
and
it.
that's like they were both YouTubers who like started their beef and they both started music where they like made diss songs on each other. But it's funny because Quadeca is like actually like extremely been successful and like improved drastically in his art. If you listen to like, if you ever have free time, his projects are all short. But if you listen to one of Quadeca's albums, I mean, it's pretty crazy. He has a very specific sound to him, and it's like artistically, I mean, really good projects. One of them even got his most recent one. I think it was got a 9 out of 10 by Anthony Fantano.
Wow.
If you know Anthony
wow,
Fantano,
that's actually
which is
fire.
crazy. It's especially
I don't
when you look at him
normally
like
agree with him, but
right, but it's
but
kind of
yeah.
crazy because he's like a really hard critic.
he is.
He's very very hard on certain things. So
I wonder what Anthony Fantana is gonna needle drop on KSI's new song.
I think he already did it.
Did he?
I mean, he did it on his like secondary channel. I think.
I bet he gives like a 5 out of 10.
No, I doubt he gives it that high.
You don't think?
He'll probably just give it a not good if I had to guess.
Just a not good.
Yeah, like
Fair.
that's like below a 0 for him. He just calls it not good. If it's like a below a 1, he'll just say not.
That's fair. That's fair.
Good.
But yeah, dude. It's speaking of bad diss tracks, we have Bryce Hall.
Did he make a diss track?
No, he's made a diss track before. Yeah.
Oh.
It was like that TikTok Riz diss track or whatever. I don't know, man. It was a long time
Interesting.
ago. It was before TikTok Riz was even a thing. It's interesting. Bryce Hall's an unk in this game now.
That's
of
true, bro.
TikTok.
Bryce Hall is goofy. I'm not gonna lie.
Bryce Hall.
He's a little corny.
I think he's corny, but I also think that he has become a better creator in general.
Mm-hmm.
Over
That's what I've
recent
heard.
years. I do like watching an occasional Bryce Hall video. That's all I'm gonna say. I follow him actually. But
And they
with
were.
that being-
What was happening with him and Dean Withers? Were they beefing?
Yeah, so they were beefing. So they were beefing for a while. Dean Withers called Bryce Hall out and said, "I want to debate you because you're just supporting Trump for no reason." Bryce Hall supported Trump at a rally, and Bryce Hall said, "I'll debate you if we do a boxing match first." And Dean Withers, because that's what you do. Yeah, you do debates, but I do boxing matches. Let's do a boxing match first if you want to challenge me at something you're good at. You know, like I believe in Trump and you believe in something very different from that. Well, I like that's not whatever. Basically, it's just like challenging each other to their own game.
Right.
And Dean Withers said, "Okay, I'll do it."
Are you serious?
Yeah, he said, "Okay, I'll do it." And Bryce Hall said, "Oh, what? That's not what I expected. I thought he was gonna back off."
So is he still gonna do it?
So I don't know what. That's kind of up in the air. But I will say that Bryce Hall did some digging on Dean Withers, and you guys know he said the N word, the R word.
We
the
talked
F
about that last
slur,
week.
and we talked about his slurs that he said, and I said, oh, you know, that was a long time ago. I accept his apology.
And he said that he apologized
I was
for
like,
it.
I accept his apology. And then I realized that 2 years ago, Dean Withers was involved in a giant scam, a crypto scam.
Really?
That was a real thing. So he basically created this program in which you can become a crypto hustler. You can like learn how to make money with crypto and this and that. And
In like unethical ways.
it was like he literally compared it to Andrew Tate's Hustlers University. This was 2 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
Before he was popular as a liberal.
Well, I think he's been on Popular as a Liberal for a while, but was he like promoting that at the same time?
It was before.
Oh, it was
What I've
before.
seen,
Okay.
He was like calling everybody broke.
I
boys
thought
and
that was
this
how
and
he started, but my bad. Keep going.
Well, he had a some type of streaming career at some point because
Mhm.
clearly he was playing Fortnite with people and saying the N word,
Fair enough.
and the R word, you know.
Mhm.
And I ultimately, no matter what you believe on those words, whether you believe they're slurs or not, I mean, whatever you believe, that's fine. But ultimately, Dean Withers showing his true colors of being a literal snake and willing to shed his skin for anything. And on top of that, I looked into Dean
Well,
Withers.
that was 2 years ago, though.
What?
You said that was 2 years ago, though.
Yeah,
I
but
think you can change.
you can change.
I mean, we already gave him the pass on the slurs. Why wouldn't we give him a pass on the crypto?
because it was 5 years ago versus 2 years ago.
Well, no, he said the F slur 2 years ago.
The F slur was 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
The N word was like 5 years ago.
Yeah, everything I saw, the F slur was in writing, so I didn't know when it was.
Okay.
But the other ones were in video, so
Mhm.
you could tell that he was 14 years old.
Mhm.
You know?
Right, which is like
Which is like, you're barely even
classic
a
edgy
human,
teen.
bro. You're barely even a human.
in like there was like when I was a kid, everyone was doing like that was because it was like an edgy phase.
That's what
in,
a lot
like-
of people have had. I had friends that went through that phase.
Mhm.
I didn't personally think that was okay to
Right.
say.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a lot of people that did. you
Exactly.
know?
It was very like it normalized more or less.
Yeah, super normalized, and I think I can be willing to say you're changed for that, but with the more recent stuff, I'm just like you haven't changed, and on top of that, I looked into his TikTok, and he regularly tries to attack Christians as well.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, he regularly
him
attacks-
and Parker both do.
He regularly attacks Christians, and a lot of times he attacks them with Mosaic law, which is something that a lot of Christians need to study up on, whether we believe it or not anymore. Mosaic law is like a basically what God said before Jesus, and Jesus changed a lot of that stuff. But he attacks Christians with Mosaic law because they don't understand what it is. Because a lot of unfortunately, certain denominations, and I'm not going to point out any of them, but certain denominations don't believe in educating their people fully, and they just believe in blind faith. And that's just wrong. You should know what you're believing.
Right.
And a lot of these people will be like, yeah, I'm a Christian and I believe in this and that. And then he'll say, oh, well, how do you feel about this?
Yeah.
And then they'll say,
Oh, I didn't know it said that.
I didn't know it ever said that.
Right.
And it's like, well, yeah, you should know that it said that, but you should also know that what it says isn't actually necessarily what it means. Sometimes.
Exactly. Like there's other factors that play into that. Because a lot of times when they take those verses out too, they
It's a lot of
purposefully
times it's
refrain from
Leviticus,
who
though.
who they're talking to, who wrote it, who they were writing it for, and all sorts of stuff like that. In the time frame of when it was, as well as if it still holds true after the new covenant.
Yeah, because like he one of his videos that I saw, he was saying, oh, well, Christians believe it's okay to have slaves because of Leviticus. And it's like, no.
Yeah, that's never been.
At the time, it was normal to conquer lands nearby to you and take them as slaves.
Well, and also slavery in the words they used in the ancient Jewish, like in the Hebrew language, what it was written in, or it was either the Hebrew or the Aramaic that it was written in. Actually, it would have been Hebrew, not Aramaic.
Kayla, do you want to step outside?
Sorry, she wasn't crying.
Yeah, I know. It's okay.
In the Hebrew that it was written into, it's translated in English to slave, but it's different. It's more of a worker who would live with the person. It wasn't a slave in the same sense that we saw in the it's all good, in the 1800s in the U.S. Like, right, you know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
Like it's a completely different. It's the same word used, but it's not the same in the sense. And like that is something that will throw people off because it's a lot of translation like errors, not errors, but like the English language doesn't have this enough words to describe all the words in that language, right? So
I feel like common day, most times when you hear slave, you think of American slavery. And that's not necessarily
Right.
how slaves were historically. I don't believe
Exactly.
in slaves no matter what.
exactly.
But
Yeah,
That's
not to
not-
say that it was good.
that's not over the course of history. Serfs have been something that's important for a long
Mhm.
time. And
In
I
Russia,
would argue that a lot of
too.
times serfs is more of a better word, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's someone who is indentured to
An
you
indentured servant,
because,
yeah.
You know, think about it this way. The slaves back in that time, you know, you were fighting with them constantly because they were neighboring lands.
Mm-hmm.
They did bad things to you. And so whenever you conquered them, you took them under you. And then you said, you're working for me now.
Mm-hmm.
You can't fight back anymore. And that was to
It's
prevent
like prisoner
them
of
from fighting
war,
back
more or less.
again.
Right,
And it
and
was a prisoner of war.
and
That
that's
was
more of what they're
so.
referring to, rather than the modern term for like what slavery is known as.
Exactly.
And so like it's like that's just one example though. There's all sorts of stuff that they try and take. And you know, and you also have to look, a lot of it's important too because after Jesus' death on the cross, a lot of that stuff doesn't hold true anymore in terms of like the certain things they would have to do. Like we were talking about when Brody stepped out of the room,
Uh-huh.
like circumcision.
Yeah, that's
Something that is not necessary under the new covenant, which is Jesus' death on the cross. And so because Jesus did that sacrifice for us, there's things that we don't have to do anymore.
yeah, because there's the old covenant and the new covenant. There was the covenant that was
Exactly.
made with the Jewish people, and there's the covenant that was made with Christian people who chose to follow Christ, which is not it doesn't have to do with heritage at all.
Exactly.
Um,
That's the cool thing about the gospel as well. Like that that after that point, it didn't just have to be like you had to be Jewish. Like in
I would argue that is the best
Ethnicity.
part for my specific culture, my family line,
in your
bro.
yeah, that's fair.
Absolutely. I wouldn't know God if I didn't have Jesus.
And it extended to all people. All people are welcome, which is amazing and beautiful thing. But
It is. And but anyways,
Yeah.
I think knowing that Dean Withers takes certain things and attacks people with it in, I would argue, unfair ways, I think that he's kind of getting justice from Bryce Hall.
really,
Bryce Hall, I believe,
they
is
box.
taking. No, but I believe that he's taking things that aren't necessarily justified.
oh,
in-
almost holding him
in
accountable.
arguments and holding him accountable for it.
That's fair. And because the thing is that Dean Withers,
I wouldn't say
I don't
want
want to defend him. I'm not going to hate on him because
neither.
like there's so much more to like still kind of discover, but I don't think he's necessarily a great person.
Oh, I should also mention in the past week he was called out for saying that incest is okay.
When did he say that?
So about a week or two ago, or not a week or two, it was within the last week, he was on a TikTok live stream.
And he said it on there.
And somebody said, would you believe that effing your sister should be against the law? And he said, no, not necessarily. And he said, are you sure about that? We would think that incest is legal. And he said, well, yeah, I'm libertarian, so anything goes.
All right, man.
And I was like,
that's pretty.
You're a freak.
Yeah, that's weird,
You're
bro.
a freak. So I realized I wouldn't hate on him for that even. I mean, that's a weird.
He has
thing.
no moral basis is the issue, and his points seem to leap. Like he'll seem to attack things, in his own point doesn't have much structure to it.
And
I think
like
it's good.
He'll do anything to win a conversation.
Exactly, and
He'll do
instead
anything
of
to win a debate.
learning the truth.
Yeah,
he's
instead
not
of
really
actually having an
truth-seeking.
opinion. Yeah,
Mhm.
he won't stand true on his opinion. Instead, he will jump around.
Right,
Which
it's
is,
like
is kind of a libertarian thing to do. No offense to
it's
libertarians.
like once you figure out, I had someone say to me once, like once they figure out they're wrong in a conversation, they'll still do whatever they can to just like argue that they're right. I had
Yeah.
someone tell me that once, and that's more or less what he's doing, which is not a good thing.
No, not
because
at all.
I mean,
It's a terrible thing.
you're
to
just
do.
wasting time, and it just shows your ego more than anything. Which
Well,
I think he does have an ego, apparent, like, and it's apparent. But
There was a comment on a recent video
But
that
yeah.
I did about Dean Withers because I talked about the Bryce Hall stuff. And basically what this person said was very, very fair. He said, this guy, I'm not going to show his name, but he said, Dean is a terrible debater, but then again, ... most people are. He is in a good way, is good in the way that Pierce Morgan is good at debates. Very bad faith. I'm on the same side as Dean, but listening to his debates, I often find myself thinking that if I LARPed as a MAGA supporter, I would dunk on him easily because of some of his points. His analogies and hypotheticals have a lot of holes you can poke through.
right, that's fair.
Because he doesn't have any moral base. That's what I was like saying. Like you were saying he has zero moral base. He doesn't have anything to go off of. It's just like nothing. He just wants to win.
I even remember I used to like watch a lot of clips on Dean Withers for multiple reasons. There was a beef that he did with another TikToker. His name's Theist Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever watched him, but he's basically like a religious TikToker, and he'll like take up points like trying to defend Christianity. But I saw them debate and they tried to do a debate where on like theology and on Christianity, and it kind of like if watching it there is kind of when I figured out about Dean like kind of being like that, where he'll just not give up on his point, and he'll he's not really strong. It's more of he's just like will just keep attacking and all sorts of stuff like that, and like instead of defending his actual argument. And it was like one where he got to a point where he was literally they got stuck on a point, and he was like, well, I want you to explain this, Brooks. And he I don't even remember what it was about, but he's like, and I want you to explain this. And he gave him the point, and then Brooks gave a response. He goes, okay, well, I want another response, is what Dean's like. And then Brooks was like, well, no, I already gave you a response, so I shouldn't need to give you another response. And they literally sat there doing that back and forth for 30 minutes because Dean really wanted him to have another one, and he wasn't going to give him another one because he already gave him one. And it was so unproductive. And that was when I figured out that Dean doesn't really care to be truth-seeking at all.
No,
He's more or less
wants to
just
win.
yeah, and that's what he's fighting for.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
The last word, more or less.
It really, yeah.
Which is a
it's
childish form of
debating.
debate. It's not a
That
debate.
does actually work, honestly.
And it works.
in a aggravating way, not
Right.
in a I'm gonna change your mind way.
It works in the sense that it beats people down, and it makes them not feel good. You know what I'm saying? Like it makes them look shaky.
It makes things more polarized.
It's more or less what it is. It's just honestly what it is it's just childish bullying in a mature format is what it really is.
yeah.
And it's childish bullying disguised in a mature format of debating when it's not debating at all.
No.
So,
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
that's the thing with a lot of these political debaters nowadays. They don't
Really?
really care on both sides too. So
Yeah. One thing I want to touch up on, I made a video about it recently, and it was Aiden Ross's hurricane situation. So virtually what happened is he promised multiple people money, and he refused to pay them. Basically, he said, you guys, if you go chase this hurricane, I'll give you $70,000, which is kind of ridiculous. And
the
I
guy
pointed
did it.
out that this very important point. Why are you giving $70,000 to some random ass streamer when you could be donating $70,000 to hurricane survivors and hurricane people that were hit by the hurricane? And in my video, I
Yeah,
actually
that's a good
took
point.
you guys through, like, I actually put a link in the video to actually donate to a real survivor if you wanted to be actually
What-
making impact.
And the thing is, too, you know what he's more or less doing is just putting those people in danger.
He's putting those
He's
people
really
in
just
danger.
and I like some of the things Aiden Ross
And
does,
he's encouraging people
But-
to go into a hurricane.
but it's it's absurd.
That's not a
man.
good idea.
No.
One specific case that I really want to talk about is Suvi is his name, or Scooby.
I saw him,
He was in a hurricane, and Aiden Ross said, "Nobody's getting paid. Stay safe, brother," or something like that.
and it was after he was already there, right?
After he was already in the hurricane.
He'd been there for like hours
on
or
a
something.
boat. On a boat, literally on a boat.
Are you talking about Lieutenant Dan, or are you talking about the
I'm
streamer
talking
guy?
about Suvi.
Okay,
I
okay,
think
that's
his name.
okay.
And
But-
he's talked to Aiden Ross before, so it doesn't make sense why he was refusing
Yeah,
to
I
pay
think it's
that
weird
guy
as well.
specifically, too.
But I didn't
This
know
guy's-
this was even in here.
This guy's
Playing with
inspecting
Brody's
the
knife.
weapons, bro.
Um,
Inspecting the weapons, classic. But yeah, Lieutenant
quoting
Dan.
why.
Lieutenant Dan, a weird guy. Okay, Lieutenant Dan, stayed in a sailboat during the hurricane.
Interesting guy.
And he was basically rewarded by Aiden Ross for doing that. I made a video about this. Lieutenant Dan, you are stupid. I'm sorry, you're
He's
stupid.
an older guy though.
Um,
well,
He had nothing to his name but a sailboat, so he decided to stay with his sailboat.
did you hear his story?
I have heard his story, but I want to explain
Oh, okay. My bad.
the Aiden Ross situation before we
Yeah,
reveal
go
the
ahead.
story. So he has nothing to his name. He stays in the sailboat, and he actually lives. I mean, he's fine. But ultimately, you're endangering first responders. You're endangering yourself because first responders have to go clean you up if you die. That's a very unfortunate, sad way to look at things. But also, these first responders will put their life on the line for you.
Mhm.
And they will put their life on the line for survivors and for people that are hurt during the hurricane. And if he hurt himself, he would have gotten picked up by a first responder.
Right.
That's what would have happened. And it would have been wasting Florida's money to pay these first responders, which some of them aren't getting fully paid from what I would imagine. There's a lot of volunteers. But yeah, he's just a dumb person. But Aiden Ross got on a call with him, offered him a $100,000 kick streaming deal, as well as offered him a $100,000 or less new sailboat for being in the hurricane during that time and being entertaining. Well, since then, he had to regress that deal because Lieutenant Dan has a criminal history. And I think Cyril knows a little bit about that.
No, I didn't.
Oh, wait.
No, what I was gonna bring up was that he, the reason all he had to his name was the boat was because he like lived up north, what was that? Oh, he lived like up in the northern west coast, the northwest. Yeah, that makes sense. But he lived up in the northwest, and he moved down there because he sold everything he had and moved over there because he said like that was just what his calling was, that God called him to. And so that's all I really knew about him. And then he'd been living on his boat, but I didn't know about his criminal history.
He has been confirmed as a R-word-er,
Wow,
as a S-A-er, as a just bad guy.
that's the
He
saying.
lives on Social Security.
And he's been all over the news too. They've
He's
been
a
like promoting him.
Bad guy. He
Mm-hmm.
is not a good guy, Lieutenant Dan. And that he's so bad that Kick won't even do a deal with him. Aiden Ross had to take back the deal.
That's crazy.
And if you guys don't know Kick is known for having the worst of the worst people.
Getting literally
They are
anybody.
literally
But
owned
it's
by
fu-
a gambling site.
It's funny because they've been making moves like that recently. They banned Jack Doherty.
Yeah.
They
This might be a W move for Kick. you know?
honestly, it would be nice to see
starting to ban
Kick
people and just have a real
at,
competitor. in
at
Twitch.
extremes. I liked that they opened it more than just Twitch did, where like people who were banned on Twitch or like there's a lot because Twitch is highly restricted. Kick was like Kick was like the wild west when it first opened, and now it's
There's
not as much.
nothing.
Now that's Rumble, but like Rumble is very
Do you
niche.
think that Rumble is more Wild Wild West?
Rumble is, but it
feels like it's
it
right-leaning.
is in its rules. It is in its rules. It's Wild Wild West. What it got picked up by was a bunch of alt-right crazy people. is
Like
what it got
Andrew
picked up.
Tate
Andrew Tate, Sneeko, which
Well,
Sneeko's not on there anymore.
Kick
He's on.
now. Yeah, he's
he's on
confirmed
Twitch.
Kick. No, he got to deal with Kick.
Are you sure? I thought he
I'm
had to deal with
positive.
Twitch.
I'm positive.
Wasn't he?
He
got.
announced it on Aiden Ross's stream.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I
no,
thought
he was multi-streaming.
because I knew he got unbanned on Twitch, and he was talking about like doing a deal with them. But I guess he went with Kick.
Yeah,
Honestly,
well,
probably the better
they
way for
probably
him,
paid
even though I
more,
don't like
and
him.
It's a better way for him because
Yeah.
he won't get banned nearly as quick.
Yeah.
And Sneeko has very controversial opinions. We've talked about that in
Mhm.
depth. Who else has controversial opinions? DogPack404, ex-Mr. Beast employee, who is now being called out for a lot of different reasons. So if you guys don't know, Soggy Cereal is a commentary. Oh, true. But he's a commentary YouTuber that is not from America. I only know that because of his accent. I don't know exactly where he's from. But he basically, it's important because of defamation and stuff like that. Laws are going to be, it would be very hard for Dogpack to represent have his legal team say anything to Soggy Cereal. But yeah, Soggy Cereal called out Dogpack404. He called him out in a couple different ways. So I watched Oompaville's interview with Dogpack404, and I came to the conclusion that Dogpack404 was at least an all right guy. Well, after watching Soggy Cereal's video and watching some certain conversations he had, it seems like Dogpack404 was actively trying to bully commentary YouTubers into covering his situation.
Which is just insane.
And
I did not know about all that.
leaving out certain information in his case,
Mhm.
which is obviously a bad thing to do. Don't leave out information.
Especially if you're trying to
To be
be
very,
the good guy who is like exposing a bad thing that's happening, right?
literally, it's weird. It's just weird. Be a good guy. Literally, if you want to be a good guy, be a good guy. That's all there is to it.
But it shows that he's playing. It shows that he's just doing it sort of for publicity. He's doing
He's
the
not
good thing,
monetized at all. or
but
anything
he's
like
doing
that,
the
but-
good thing to get his name and
Out
to get
there.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
mean-
in a year, bro, people won't care about the Mr. Beast drama anymore, but it'll still have 500,000 subscribers.
Right. Exactly. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
And he can
So-
still be a commentary YouTuber just like other YouTubers in that niche.
Mhm.
But also, he's getting called out. Again, these are all alleged claims. I don't know the validity of these. But he is getting called out by other ex-employees as well for doing very bad things. Now, none of this is coming from Mr. Beast official. And that is important because Mr. Beast official needs to respond to this stuff. I still stand behind the fact that of everything I've said before, Dogpack404 brought a lot of stuff to the light that Mr. Beast needs to address. Even if
And
it's
didn't he
not
say
true.
he's going to respond too? Didn't Mr. B say that?
He said that he's going to
That was a
respond.
while
Internally
ago.
is what Dogpack said, though. But again, Dogpack, is he trustworthy? But anyways, I think that Mr. Beast is guilty of at least some of these things. I mean,
I don't
it's
think
like
all of it.
throwing stuff at the wall and seeing if it sticks, you know? Some of it is going to stick.
As,
some
and
of it has
again,
gotta
it's
be
when
true.
it's the same with Musk, bro. When you're like we were talking about earlier, when you're someone of that status, you're gonna have some skeletons in your closet.
Yeah, well,
you,
I think the biggest nail in the coffin for Mr. Beast for me
uh
is a lot of this Lunchly stuff.
yeah,
I think
it's
that's
not a good look.
It's a terrible look. You are literally teaming up with the two worst guys on YouTube to team
Mhm.
up with. And again, I enjoy KSI's content. I am actually I consider myself a KSI fan. I watch the Sidemen regularly. But when you're teaming up with somebody who is KSI is known for being a crypto scammer.
Yeah,
At this point, well, maybe
and
not known
Logan
for it,
Paul is
but
not
he has
known-
crypto scam.
and Logan Paul's not known to be a saint either.
And Logan Paul is known to be probably
I
the
know.
worst person on YouTube.
I agree. Yeah,
And so when you have those two guys that you're teaming up with and you know that their product is under a lot of scrutiny,
Mhm.
I just can't trust you that well.
yeah. I don't know. I can't imagine there being any good moral reason for why he's doing what he did,
He has
doing
to
other
be
than
doing
for
it
money.
There's another thing that, again, Dogpack404 came out with, but he did come out with it in with another YouTuber. She's a cooking YouTuber. I can't think of her name for some reason. But she's been calling out Mr. Beast unethical practices in the Mr. Beast games that's on Amazon Prime, as well as now she's calling out Mr. Beast philanthropy because they purposefully edited certain photos in Mr. Beast philanthropy to make it seem like they're doing more than they actually are,
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
which is gross. It's disgusting. It's wrong. He's still doing philanthropy. Ultimately, at the end of the day, he's still doing philanthropy. But it is wrong to do that.
Yeah.
You shouldn't edit that type of stuff. You shouldn't do that. Mr.
it's-
B, a lot of things.
It's another case like this. Really, the same thing that Dogpack's doing. It's like if you're gonna do good, just do good. And why do you? They're doing these things for bad intentions.
personal reasons. Yeah,
In personal gain.
What it is it's stretching the truth. All these people are stretching the truth. They're just taking something that is rooted in truth and they're taking it a mile with it. So DogPack404 he's faking philanthropy videos to that he is the worst person on the planet.
Right.
Like, yeah, no.
And he's not
But
even
also,
faking the philanthropy itself.
With
right?
DogPack404, it's like, oh, he's a Mr. Beast employee. Or he was a Mr. Beast employee.
And he got fired, right?
Something went really wrong in his time at Mr. Beast, so he's
Yeah.
just a terrible guy. He's just super against Mr. Beast and this and that. And
he could have reason to just to hold a grudge. Like
I
you
would
know what I'm
imagine that a little bit is a grudge, to be honest.
Yeah, like if he got fired, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously,
But
and
also,
he sees it as a way that he can get them back, right, and make a lot of money, or not even money, but get a lot of publicity, right?
yeah, and obviously he is gaining something from this.
Mhm.
There's no way he's not gaining something from this. His YouTube videos are not monetized, but there's got to be something else that he's gaining from this somehow.
Yeah,
I just don't-
a cult following.
Yeah, that's one thing. But yeah, Soggy Cereal has no reason to call out DogPack404. He could post a video on Mr. Beast tomorrow and make a bag, realistically, like $100,000, basically. Like he goes into in depth on specifically. Do you know who More Pegasus is?
I've heard the name, but I don't remember.
He is a commentary YouTuber that made like 12 videos on the Mr. Beast drama,
Yeah.
basically rehashing what was said over and over again.
Mhm.
And according to Soggy Cereal's estimates, he made $100,000 per video.
That's insane, bro. That's insane.
Yeah. So
Like,
like
it's just rehashing someone else's drama. So he's more
And
or
it's
less saying
like-
the dog pack could do that.
it's like 30-minute to an hour videos too.
yeah, that's
So that's
crazy.
why he made so much there. And it's like, wow. Like that's the specific video. I would recommend anybody watches it. It's a very good thing to watch because it shows how
Slob City.
It shows how easy it is in the commentary genre to just become a terrible person. His video is called Slop Content is Ruining YouTube. And I've seen a lot of people say this recently. I've seen multiple videos that said this. It's not a new sentiment. He's picking up on it because it is something that is popping right now. So whether you believe that his content is faking or copying somebody else because he's also making a video about slop content, and technically he is also slop content.
Yeah.
He is what he's calling out. It is a good video to watch.
But it's something that needed to be
because
called out.
You have to be careful in commentary YouTuber. You have to be.
Slop content is
That's why
pretty
specifically,
common,
bro, I didn't make a video on the Mr. Beast. Like I purposefully would take a week off, week on, week off, because like there's so many videos and there's so many things that you really could update because there's so many things that came out in succession. But ultimately, I'd post a video that had Mr. Beast involved, and then I'd wait like a whole week or more to post another video with Mr. Beast involved because like it was just like I didn't want to take advantage of it. I didn't want to make slop, you know?
Mhm.
I didn't want to make this slop content. And that's something that I had in my head before even watching these videos because I don't want to be another commentary YouTuber. I want to be somebody who's respected. One person I really point out with this respected thing is Oompaville, honestly. I think a lot of times he does research his things well.
Yeah.
It
I would
does
agree.
seem like DogPack404 pulled one over on him in this specific situation, but also we need to see more of a DogPack404 response to this Soggy Cereal as well. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens with all that.
There's a lot more to come out on it. so.
There's definitely a lot more to come out. This happened a day ago.
Yeah.
Happened a day. I'm going to be covering this situation, doing some more in-depth research, figuring out everything. Because I was literally just put on to Soggy. I watched Soggy Cereal since his first video. That's a legit thing. Or no, not his first video. His first video that blew up. He did a video on Iraq, and I watched that. It was this
He's
video
kind of recent.
that blew up. Yeah,
I mean, look how many
within the
videos
past year.
he had to have had videos before that he took down, right?
These?
No, go all the way down. Like before even his oldest ones, he had to have videos before that he took down, right? There's no way you blew up making one video a month like that.
If you make really good content and get lucky, you'll blow up that fast. That's just how things work. It's a little bit like I said. I've said this before. You know, YouTube is rolling a dice. Here's the thing: if you have bad content, it's like rolling 100-sided dice. If you have good content, it's like rolling a 6-sided dice.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So the better your content, the smaller your dice roll is.
Mhm.
You know, and so it takes less rolls to actually hit.
That makes sense.
But if your content's bad, it takes more dice rolls. But ultimately, in this sense, you have to make that first 100-sided dice roll
To be able to pick it up.
to make that next 98-sided dice roll,
Mhm.
and then the 96-sided dice roll.
That's fair.
And then it gets smaller and smaller because your content gets better as you go.
Right.
And so that's the very normal thing would be.
It's
to
kind of
just say-
exponential as you keep
Yeah,
going.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's made some pretty crazy, good videos. I'd even argue, and but yeah, I respect Soggy Cereal, and I'd like to see what comes out of this DogPack404 stuff, and I really am excited for that. I guess I don't know. I'm gonna make a video on it, figure out what's going on, and I think that's the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
Don't plagiarize. Don't be slop.